Marcus is the best part of the podcast. 3 seconds of silence.
Wow.
Sorry. Hey, welcome back to another episode of 1980s.
I was laughing away.
Now she's going to talk while I'm talking. Hey, maybe it's because we're not synced right. Hey. You were good, right? Hey, welcome back to another episode of 1980s. What? Are you going to just keep talking while I talk? I'm doing the intro.
I'm so glad it's live.
That before you squash
this is going great.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of 1980s Now, a weekly examination of the importance of 1980s pop culture and its influence today. My name is Will, and joining me, as always, is Interrupting Cal and friend and co-hosts Kat and John. Interrupting Cat, I should have said. Is Interrupting Cat / friend and co-host and another friend and co-host Kat and John.
Meow.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'alls. Hey,
hi, everyone.
Hello. And today we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube while we record this episode so that we can include our friends here in this episode where we're going to talk about today about the greatest, well, I'll say the greatest, some of the greatest 1980s TV show themes. And I'm saying some of because I'm going to be challenging you and Kat and John to identify theme songs from 1980s TV shows that were also hits. And I want to thank Suzanne Hall, My Take Gen X. Suzanne Hall, My Take Gen X, who makes Gen X content. She's a fellow Gen Xer. She makes Gen X content on, Facebook. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, because she recently posted asking her followers for their favorite 1980s TV theme song. And it reminded me of how great a topic this is. So thank you for that, Suzanne.
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to say this, and we can talk about this more later maybe, but I think this phenomenon probably peaked in the 1980s, right? I mean, it began in decades earlier where themes from TV shows would be on the radio, Dragnet, like the Peter Gunn.
Right.
But I can't think post-80s, a little bit in the 90s probably, but not since. There's no themes on TV shows on radio now, right? Well, there's no radio now.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened? They got rid of theme songs because now theme songs are like 10 seconds and boom, you're right back into it. So
that's true.
I mean, the last one I remember is probably like Big Bang they repurposed a pop song as their opening.
Yeah.
But again, they use this much of it.
Right.
And that's it. Right.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it They Might Be
Good
Giants
example.
or something like that? Is that who it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like
I
Anyway.
think it is. Yeah, I think They Might Be
But it's like
Giants.
the total loss of the theme song has gone away. Because used to be you'd have a cold open and there's like a 30-second intro where it shows every single actor and their name and talks about the premise and what you expect in the show. And now people tune out. So they got rid of that. And it's like, you're watching this show and it's right back into it. So you don't get a theme song at all.
Yeah.
It's been
Bare Naked
TikTok.
Ladies. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you, Nick.
That's right.
Thank you.
Oh, and Brad's here. Who wrote Brent X Blow Up. Huh. Is that like Gren X
Hi, Brad.
Joan Up?
Grenix
Exactly.
Joan Up. Yeah.
That's it. You got it.
Brad says he's just here for the hot pants, hot flashes, parrots, and pickles.
So am I, Brad. So am I.
Hey, before we're going to talk about any of the flat tires, hot pantses, hot flashes, and pickles, and we're going to review current news stories related to 1980s media, including it's time to put on makeup. It's time to light the lights. The Muppets are back. The original
Can I get excited now?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you told her to put a cork in it earlier.
He did.
Put a what? Put a pork in it?
You told her to put a cork in her enthusiasm until the show.
Oh, yeah.
Save it.
Pork? No, that's very Muppet Show. They had pigs and chickens running around
I don't
everywhere.
know what you were talking about.
Put a pork in it, Cat. Golly.
All right. What else? The original Scream has been found, and I'm not talking about Edward Monk. And an iconic piece of Star Trek history has returned. Time codes are in the show notes. If you'd like to skip around, and you may want to skip around a little bit later because, actually, no. When we talk about Star Trek, John, I thought of a way we could talk about it without being too spoilery or really spoilery at all. We're just going to tell you about one thing. Story-wise, we don't have to talk about the plot, I think, right?
No, of course not.
All right. Hey, let's get caught up on 1980s.
I And it is a surprise, right?
Yeah, so we're ruining that one surprise, but I think why is probably the bigger.
It's been a week ago. Yeah, right. Yeah. Everybody who's going to talk about it is talking about it now. Yep.
Yes, you're right. If you were going to watch it, you'd be on top of that thing. All right, hey, this week on 1980s News, the trailer for the forthcoming Disney Plus series Muppets Mayhem dropped online just a few days ago. What do you guys think? Have you watched it?
Like
yes.
10, 15 times I've watched
repeatedly.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. So does this mean you've been you're a lifelong Muppet fan?
Yes, lifelong. See?
There's another prop. She has props everywhere. There's two Kermits in arm's reach. Two Kermits and two Piggies in arm's reach she has.
And of course, the funny thing about this all is she didn't load these up because she knew we were talking about this. She just has them. Like Mary Poppins.
They're just sitting right there.
Or like a bag of holding. She just has a infinite supply of whatever she needs.
She just pulls them out of.
Whenever she needs it, she just reaches out and just appears in her hand.
Yep.
So, John, are you a Muppets fan? Have you been a Muppets fan?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yep. I mean, I was introduced to the Muppets by Sesame Street, of course, but the Muppet Show was the one. I mean, because I was still a kid then, but it was adult entertainment. Now, I don't mean pornographic entertainment. I mean, it was made for grown-up people, right?
Did the Muppets look all scrambled?
It's not,
and you had to look carefully to figure out?
Oh, I was thinking of Meet the Feebles. That's not it. No, but the Muppet Show, and the animal was always my favorite. Yeah. What's wrong with you, Will?
I have so many questions now about Meet the Feebles.
Yeah.
We get to that. But no, Animal was my favorite. Okay, I just thought he was amazing because there's something about a character that doesn't have any lines, but he communicates. There's Animal, but he communicates non-verbally. And that was the only probably Muppet I ever owned because I wanted a toy of him that I could do the mouth with.
Right.
And I got the one that had the mouth and it had the eyebrows that go up and down. There's a little pinky trigger in there. I actually had an animal. And so I think a series based on just Electric Mayhem, genius. I think it's a great idea.
You're so excited.
Right. I still have that puppet, John. I have a Ralph puppet too, yeah.
Yeah, you have a Ralph, right?
When we talked to John Tartaglia.
You put your own hands in and play piano?
You can't. No, the hands you couldn't. You'd probably have to add some, When we talked to John Tartaglia a few months ago, I showed him my puppets. I don't think we did that on air, but yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he's a voice actor that, he brought the Fraggles back, but also he worked for many years with Sesame Street, Muppets, etc. But yeah, as you guys have alluded, this is a show that focuses on some ancillary characters in the Muppet lore, Muppet canon, characters that we were first introduced to on the Muppet Show as the house band. That is the Electric Mayhem. And this TV show that's coming to Disney Plus is actually the first time we've had a new television series that focused or featured the Muppets since 2015 when they had a mockumentary style show that focused. It was about like a late night talk show hosted by Miss Piggy. More recently, they had a 2020 show that was like these it was like sketch comedy. It was these different. It was brilliant. I loved this other show. It was called Muppets Now, and they would have Muppets live actors.
I missed that.
And I guarantee they were improvising. Like you could have a Seth Rogen on and Kermit, and they would just be eating lunch together. But
just riff.
They would riff. Oh, and these puppeteers can hold their own with these people. Hilarious.
Didn't that one end on a cliffhanger? Was that the Muppets Now or the other Muppet series where they were all getting on a plane, they were going somewhere, and then it just got canceled, and I was disappointed.
That's so funny.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Why is Will laughing at me? Why is it funny that it got ended on a cliffhanger?
I'm thinking of the end of the trailer for Muppets Mayhem. Where it ends.
Yes, that's why I thought you were. Yes.
What's their bus called? Electric Mayhem is the band. The bus, I think they have a name for the bus too.
Right.
But it's literally hanging off the cliff. And they said Disney Plus is going to love this.
That's true. Yeah.
So maybe that was the reference that I didn't get. But Juanita says that she's a lifelong Muppet fan, but not a Disney fan. Okay, well, they were. Obviously, they weren't always a property of Disney.
They
Anyway,
weren't always together. Yeah.
This new TV show was co-created by Muppets veteran Bill Beretta and college friends Jeff Yorks and Adam F. Goldberg. Yeah, that Adam F. Goldberg of the Goldbergs. Bill Beretta, by the way, he's been with the Muppets since the early '90s. He's the puppeteer who created Pepe the King Prawn. That really unusual sort of puppet. But he also inherited the roles of Rolf, Swedish Chef, and Dr. Teeth after Jim Henson passed away.
Oh, nice.
So he's been with them for a long time. The idea for the series centering on the band came from sort of an unexpected place, perhaps. The Outside Lands Music Festival. In 2016, the Electric Mayhem performed a set there. Could you imagine being there?
Wow. Really?
Yeah. And
somehow,
co-creator Beretta said that, and again, he's there doing Dr. Teeth, He said that they're there performing for something like 30,000 people, he says, quote, I thought, well, there's something here. What if this band went on the road? What if this band went on tour? And I started developing an idea for a show about the band because we don't know that much about them, end quote.
Right.
I do remember loving their appearance in the Muppet movie when they do that song, Can You Picture That? And they're painting the car.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That was like a highlight. Yeah.
The concept for this show is so cool because from the trailer, it appears they're almost given too much in the trailer, but it's okay. It's still, you want to see it for just to see it, right? But like they've been a band for all this time and never cut an album because they're a house band.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's a fascinating avenue to come in on this because I always remember there's one line in some Muppet show that really crystallizes for me what Dr. Teeth's band, like what they're like. They had some musical guest sitting at a piano. It could have been anybody, I don't know. But essentially they sat down, they had the music up there. Yeah, it could have been Elton John, might have been Elton John. And the saxophone guy, the purple guy. Zoot. He looks over and goes, whoa, he follows the little black dots. Which is, they're all just like, they just know music, right? Yeah. They would never read sheet music or anything. And they were amazed that this guy knew how to follow the black dots. That's not them, right? They're totally off the grid.
Yeah. And sort of the other, I guess, implication there is they seem like stoners, right? Like, another sort of stereotype of certainly bands of that era, 70s era bands that, chemically enhanced happiness. Because even in the trailer, they had that moment where they say, they're always happy. Yes. I have a fork.
They're always happy. You did it, man.
You did it, yeah.
Look, Kat's already quoting the trailer. She knows it.
Floyd said that. I have a Muppet Show misery story.
Misery? Not set in Missouri then. This is a different thing. Okay.
No, not Missouri. One time I was not allowed to watch because I wouldn't eat my lima beans.
Oh.
I think I was like 5 or 6 years old. Yep. But I was so stubborn and I would not eat those things. I hated those things. And I could hear it though in the next room.
You could hear it.
I'm sure I was listening to the Electric Mayhem and everything, but I wasn't allowed to watch it.
That makes me so sad.
It was really sad. Really sad.
We got to find out what episode that was so you can watch it.
From the next room. Pigs in space. Like, I'm missing the pigs in space now.
Man.
Well, it shows you Kat was, she's holding her ground there.
Bork.
I did.
It's interesting. Lima bean seems like a vegetable that only existed in the 1980s. Is that still around, or was just big lima
still
was?
Exist.
I had lima beans last night. They're delicious. I don't know what's wrong with you, Kat.
You're weird.
What? Oh,
right. Have you seen a lima bean in 30 years, Kat?
Yes, because my daughter loves them.
Oh, is that right?
There you go.
There's something wrong with her.
You raised her right.
Look, Craig's with me. He hates lima beans too.
All right.
But would you have missed the Muppet Show for it, Craig?
Yeah. And when's the last time you had a lima bean? Or offered a lima bean? Well, look, this show features a band. I'm hopeful that they're going to have some new original songs. We know that they actually did share with us a 30-second clip of a new song, which is the song that's sort of behind the trailer. But they have lyrics and there's a little music video that's mostly clips from the show. But I'm hoping we get a lot of songs because the premise of the show is that they've never recorded an album, but they're going to get it done. And, but meanwhile, the first half of the season is going to feature covers, particularly a lot of classic rock of the era in which the band was first introduced in the 1970s. They premiered in the 1975 pilot of The Muppet Show. So there you go. All right. Hey, in other 1980s news, as reported by as reported by Paste Magazine, the magazine that your teacher told you not to eat. Okay. Stop it. Stop eating that.
This is a delicious magazine.
Oh, hey, Dwight's here saying, Dwight's weighing in on greatest TV show theme, saying the facts of life.
Oh, you take the good, you take the bad.
Just like our show, Marcus.
The good and the bad.
So, as reported by Paste Magazine, the original recording session of the Wilhelm Scream has been uncovered. So, Look, if you're a cinephile, and maybe even if you're not a cinephile, I don't know, does anybody not know what the Wilhelm scream is?
I didn't know before listening to this podcast.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, so folks don't know. All right, so then, okay, so for folks who don't know, in the 1951 film Distant Drums, there's a scene where soldiers are fleeing Seminole, this is Seminole Indians. Is that even correct anymore?
Oh.
Wow.
It's a tribe name as far as I know.
Yeah, but Indians isn't. The Seminole tribe.
Oh.
Tribes people.
Sure. Yes.
Seminole tribes people. Okay, I want to try to get anyway,
So you're saying they're Seminole. You're saying they're Seminole. Not Seminole.
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 Cinnamon?
Larynx. Seminole.
Got it. Nailed it.
All right. Anyway, soldiers are fleeing, and they're wading through a swamp in the Everglades when one of them is bitten and dragged underwater by an alligator. And as he's taken under, he shrieks. Well, the screams for that scene and other scenes in the movie were actually recorded. Sounds very much like that. Were recorded later in a single take. So, look, this happens often, right? It even happens today. They call it ADR, automatic dialogue replacement, where I just saw somebody talking about this. It was Chris Pratt talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie, how after they've wrapped on all the vocal dialogue, the very last thing they record, because they don't want them to lose their voices, is all the grunts. I think he called it effort sounds. So all the grunts are being hit or jumping. And he talked about how, he has to fall and land, and you have to make a sound to show the kids that Mario is still alive. He's okay. So he was demonstrating some different sounds in that regard. So this isn't so it's something they do today. But anyway, so all these shrieks were recorded separately. The recording of these sounds was entitled "Man Getting Bit by an Alligator and He Screams." And though it was first created for that film, the sound is actually named for a character in a later movie because it gets its name from Private Wilhelm, a character in The Charge at Feather River, which is a 1953 Western. The scream, which had been made a part of the Warner Brothers sound library. So, you get these stock sounds anybody could use when they're making a movie.
Right.
It was used.
Right. Because at first they're just using them because they're available. And it wasn't until later that people started using them like as homage or to be in the club or to inside joke with editors. Because at first it was just, we need a sound of a scream, go grab some. And then later it grew.
Yeah. Hey, this guy nailed it.
What's even this is sort of a little bit of I guess a curiosity or curious history to me is that research was done by legendary, and I'm a huge fan of this guy. I've been a fan for the longest time of the legendary Lucasfilm sound designer Ben Burtt. He did the sound design for all the Star Wars films, all the Indiana Jones movies.
Yep.
Tons of, if it's a big Lucasfilm production, and others too, ILM's involved, often he does it. I have a really cool Star Wars book, which is, he talks about how he made all the different sounds. And embedded in the book is a little player where you could type in the code of the paragraph that describes the sound, and it'll play the sound. Now,
that's great.
There's a couple sounds in there he won't give away, but most of them he explains how he created them. And for me as a kid, the sounds are what made Star Wars to this day so come alive and believable. You know, that those lasers had punch to them. That when C-3PO was walking around, you could hear the mechanics. Working, inside, all that kind of stuff.
And like Vader's TIE fighter is almost like screaming as it rips through space.
Yeah,
and
I think it has a
noise. It's awesome.
And I think it has a rattlesnake after it's when it just gets past. So yeah, he uses a lot of animal sounds and sort of tweaks them. And actually, a job that I did in theater years ago was sound design because of my love of this kind of stuff. Anyway, so Ben Burtt, he found out that the scream was actually made by Sheb Woolley. Sheb Woolley, the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater Sheb Woolley.
Oh my gosh.
In addition to having that hit 1958 song, was also an actor. And in fact, he has an uncredited part in that Distant Drums film. So he found, but Ben Burtt determined was that Sheb Woolley was this guy who screams on this thing. So,
but he's not the guy who got eaten by the alligator?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay.
I love finding out that it's Sheb Woolley because I had all these records, my parents' records, but I had a single of Purple People Eater that I wore the hell out. I'm sure my parents were sick of hearing this song. And I'd sing along with it, and I would have the hairbrush and I'm singing along. And to find out that he is the originator of this song or the sound,
so cool.
That's really neat.
So cool.
Yeah. So as John mentioned, look, for 3 decades after Distant Drums, it was used frequently in Warner Brothers films because, like John said, it was available. They needed a scream. Why spend the money effort to recreate something? We'll just use this thing like that. And again, when I worked in theater, we did that too. I worked at Juilliard for a couple of years, and they had this is in the 90s, CDs and CDs of things. I would say I need a sound of this. Mm-hmm. Someone would have it.
So you had to go get a CD.
Well, I didn't. There was someone who just was like an archivist who would be like, all right, you need this. And, pretty fancy stuff. But
Will had people to take care of that for him. He didn't get his fingers dirty. Come on.
I did have white gloves on, though.
Right.
Sure. So, of course. The original recording, though, has been found by a veteran audio engineer, Craig Smith, who is the academic sound coordinator of the School of Film and Video at the California Institute of the Arts. And he came across it because he's been, undergoing this effort to preserve a vast library of tapes that have been sitting at the school for decades since the 1990s. For whatever reason, and nobody's sure why, among them is the original recording of the Wilhelm scream. And I'm going to play you part of it right here. And it's great because not only is it titled, what would you say, Man Getting Bit by an Alligator and He Screams, that comes from the direction he's given by some director, Shab Woolley is given before he does his scream, so you can hear it here.
A man getting bit by an alligator and he screams. Okay, quiet. Hey, quiet. Sit down towards me. Okay, right. Oh! Oh! The first one you did up here was much better. Oh! Not an owl. A real scream of pain.
So after this now, he adds the scream because, as you heard the direction there, he said, the guy said, not an owl, scream.
Not an
Come
owl.
on, you beat me a fucking alligator, God damn it. Come to life. And so now what follows are 3 things that sound to me like any of which could possibly be the scream. But online, I found people debating what it is. So I don't really know the answer.
All right.
But what I do have here is one of the times it was used, which was in Return of the Jedi, which is the place I think in one of these films that it's somewhat isolated from music, etc. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to play for you the 3 screams that Woolley made. See if you think you could tell which one it is. So this is Return of the Jedi. Luke Skywalker is fighting his way off of Jabba's sail barge. They're rescuing, Lando's rescuing, Han is rescuing Lando, who's fallen off the skiff, and Luke jumps down, gets his lightsaber from R2 and starts slashing people. One of Jabba's henchmen falls off of the smaller skiff there.
Okay.
Okay. Hold that in your memory banks. I've got 2 of these seem really likely. Here's the first one. But some people think it's this one. But another group thinks it's this one. Those are too close, right? You can't know.
So close.
The third one is this.
It sounds like the first one to me. Let's see.
It's not that one. We could rule that one out, I think.
No. I think it's the first one.
No.
I'm going to play Jedi again.
There's something about the end of the second one that's very breathy that isn't in the one we hear over and over, I think.
Craig says first one also. All right, let's see here. Here's Jedi first again.
That one.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
Number 2 has
here
more.
at the end, he goes, He becomes a breathy, whereas on the first one, he continues the vocal cord vibration where he goes, He continues to make that noise instead of just getting kind of breathy. Yeah, it's got to be the first one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's a little warm.
Craig's on the right page. He's got it.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Go, Craig.
I'm with you.
It's now been heard in over 400 films, with at least 3 dozen of those from the 1980s alone, including Always, Flash Gordon, History of the World, Howard the Duck, Raiders, Temple, Last Crusade, Lethal Weapon, Poltergeist, Scooby-Doo, Spaceballs, Star Trek V, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Swamp Thing, 3 Fugitives, and Willow.
Is this the most sampled sound effect?
In movies, definitely.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
It would have to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It's got to the point where I can pick it out when I hear it in a film. I'll be sitting there and I'll elbow somebody else and go, hey, that's the scream. Yeah. And they go, shut up.
Yeah. I drive my wife crazy with that stuff too.
I feel like I heard it recently and I recognized it. I can't remember what it was in. All right.
You know what, Kat? It was probably in The Mandalorian. I think it was in The Mandalorian.
because I've seen that recently.
Yeah. I think I
probably.
heard it in there too. And again, they're continuing to transition, which I really think Ben Burtt, again, of Lucasfilm, is the guy who really, starting with Star Wars in 77, he's just been putting it in everything. and other younger sound engineers are now following suit.
I love that.
Marcus says there's
I'm sure
a
they've
triplet.
got it on a macro.
There's a triplet at the tail of the scream.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, almost like it's almost like the tail end of his voice arpeggiates down and goes it does that little thing. I heard what you're talking about, Marcus. Yeah, I agree.
Cool. All right. Hey, and other
Triplet
1980s.
was the only way he could describe it.
What's that? The only way to describe it?
It just says triplet was the only way I could think to describe it. He says.
I got it. Makes sense. Yep.
Good. Yep. I mean, you guys are on the same wavelength. Okay. Hey, in other 1980s news, as reported by Variety, a classic piece of Star Trek, The Next Generation, was recreated for Star Trek Picard. All right, let me get my warning siren out here.
John. This is when John gets excited.
All right, so look, again, this is, it's kind of a big spoiler, but it's not a story spoiler. In other words, we're going to talk about something they brought back from the old show, in the new show, the current season of Star Trek's Picard, which is currently streaming. The season just finished. So you can go watch the whole thing. Anyway, so all season long, the producers of Star Trek Picard have boldly pulled out.
Whoa!
Boldly pulled out.
Don't stop the sentence right there.
Whoa.
Don't do that.
Whoa.
They boldly pulled out their Picard.
That's a real Kirk move, buddy.
Okay, pulled out all the stops to make sure that it's his third and unfortunately final season. I'm sad to hear that. Is one for the books. To that extent, look, they're bringing back a lot of the, I want to say players, plot lines, Easter eggs, homages from the original Star Trek, The Next Generation show, and stuff from the movies too, is, part of this canon. But among those
and other contemporary series, they're pulling in stuff from Voyager, they're pulling in stuff from Deep Space Nine, anything that was in that era in the 23rd century, we're touching on. Yeah. They
were touching on. They boldly pulled, and then they were touching on. So that's what we want you to be left with, folks. Anyway, so among those things, and the big final, I kind of don't want to say it, but I do want to say it, is the appearance of the Enterprise D, the Galaxy class starship that first made its appearance in 1987 with the premiere of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Encounter at Farpoint.
Right. Okay, here we go. I'll just stop talking now. Just let John take over.
Well, first of all, it's absolutely unbelievable at first that it's there at all because it was destroyed. Well, all but the saucer section, but it made perfect sense. I'd want to talk about why, because if someone hasn't seen it, we already spoiled the fact that it exists. I'm not going to talk about why, but they made it make perfect sense. Why it's there. I can imagine the writer's room where they're like, well, what's Geordi doing that he would have the ability to do ... Or like, put him in charge of this station. I can imagine how they wrote this story backwards to get to this part of the story, and it worked out perfectly. And didn't spoil it for me. They got there and surprised me big time.
To your point, super clever. It manages to do that thing of fan service, but in a way is consistent with the story. It feels earned. It didn't feel contrived.
And there's a reason for it. They're not just doing it to do it. Like there's a real story-based reason why they should do this. Yeah.
Regard bringing the ship back, because when you see it, I mean, John, like you said, you were surprised, and I was. And we're talking specifically about seeing the bridge of the ship, because we know they could easily generate the exterior of the ship, no problem. In fact, it was one of the earliest computer generated images on a television show was, the ships and the battles that they had on that show, and they were convincing at the time in the 1980s, late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
Executive producer Terry, I'm going to say Matalas.
That's right, Matalas.
Told Variety that, quote, everyone tried to talk us out of doing this because financially it's a nightmare and timing was tight, end quote.
Yikes.
Yeah. But it became tricky because, like John said, the writers room, they probably were like so impressed with themselves that they came up with this wonderful, valid reason to bring it back. Someone had to figure out how to actually do it. And it turns out, even though it was on the show from 87 to 94 and in the 94 film Generations in which it's destroyed, very few construction guidelines, blueprints, anything remained from the original construction of the set.
I wish I had picked up on this early on. So when I saw like episode 1, episode 2, and I was seeing special features, and I'm like, look at this. They brought back Mike and Denise Okuda. who were the designers of the Enterprise D. They were the designers of what they call the LCARS display, which is the pastel bands of color with a little text in there. He invented that. He and his wife together made the Enterprise D and the entire graphic look of that. And I thought, how nice they're bringing back the actors. They even brought back these original people.
Yep.
Duh, they brought them back because they needed their expertise, not for the new stuff, for this thing. I'm sure they used them for other stuff as well, but of course they needed Mike and Dina Sakuda.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I don't know that they needed it for anything else, because it turns out that because they found such a dearth, is that the word? Dearth of information regarding the original construction of the bridge, including the LCARS that John's talking about. They did what they could. They took a lot of photos that they could find. They said every photo they could find of it, every screen grab they could get of the bridge. And they had those pinned in the room as they're trying to, recreate create a design, a blueprint for this thing. But it included bringing back the CUDAs to their specialty, in particular being the design of, it's the computer interface. John's using fancy words. The computer interface, which that design is like so iconic. I feel like it's influenced website designs and, actual, I don't know, other types of interfaces we see today that we can actually use.
One of the most fascinating things so many pieces of this, there are featurettes on it you can watch. We were talking off air earlier about the Ready Room that Will Wheaton does, and they had featurettes on there.
Yeah.
There's a bit like how picky they were about it that I love is that, so for example, like on behind a display in the original series, they had a neon light behind it, which had a red cast to it. Well, now they're using LEDs, but they tinted the LEDs red so they replicate the same tone of backlight on these displays that you would have seen. These are things you're going to see in the background, out of focus.
Yeah.
It's just all the little pieces that they went to the extra effort of going, well, we got to make it slightly different because we're using different tech to make it look right.
Because we know John Reddick's watching and
paying attention. Like, that's not the right
color. Anybody who's a true fan of Star Trek is exactly like John with regard to Star Trek. There's no like half measures, half-ass Star Trek fans. All right. I mean, you just like,
not really. Yeah.
Yeah. To your point, John, another thing that, Mike Okuda said with regard to that is that they also, though, had the benefit of new technology in the sense that they used to have to just, using post-production, put in the computer animation on those screens. They could actually have a display in there now that shows the actors what's really going to be,
right.
That's cool.
Show up on film.
Right. In 87, there weren't flat panel screens. Like there was, not only was there was not even they had to be backlit gels instead of being real screens. And now they're just throw some screens up there because we actually have them now.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the end, it took 3 months and a team of around 50 people to completely rebuild the bridge, which was a physical build. None of it's green screen or VFX or the volume like they do on the Star Wars shows. It measured exactly the same as the original set, 50 feet wide and 100 feet long. And if you see the back-to-back A/B original bridge photos with the new one, you cannot tell the difference. It's really quite astonishing.
It's
crazy. As far as the lengths they went to rebuild this thing, the producer said that to the moment we started filming, Picard that is, we were still gluing pieces together. So it was quite an effort.
Oh, no.
Well, they had till episode 9. They had several weeks, right? Yeah,
that's true. You're right.
Shoot a show.
Yeah.
They have a buffer.
Brad says, sounds like
don't start there.
Sounds like I need to bone up on Star Trek to appreciate it all. Now I'm wondering if Brad, is he trying to tie all of our jokes together? Boldly pull out. What was the other one? Touch upon. Bone up on Star Trek.
Brad,
Boning up.
He thought you said
twerk. Put a twerk in it.
Twerk. Put a twerk. Cat, put a twerk in it. All right. Hey, that was 1980s. All right. Hey, we're going to get right to it here. All right. On today's show, as I mentioned, I'm going to challenge you and Kat and John to see if they could identify TV or themes from 1980s TV shows that were also hit songs. Okay. From just a few clues. I'm going to tell you right now, the first clue on all these is going to be an audio clip of the song itself, and it is 0.2 of a second long. But I think
0.2.
I think with the clues,
wow,
you might that may very well be enough. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We get hurdled here, aren't we?
So,
so for the purposes of this game, we should probably not look at the live chat.
Oh, right.
Those watching can participate and not give it away. Right?
Very good. Yes.
Yep. So I'm not looking.
Folks in the live chat on Facebook or YouTube, you think you got it? Chime in. Let me know. Don't worry about it. You're not going to spoil it for Kat and John, as John indicated. They're going to turn off their portion of the screen that shows the comments, but I'll be able to see them. So if you get the right answer or the wrong answer after we indicate what the actual song is, we could share your feedback.
Are we competing or being a team?
Yeah, I don't know the rules yet. That's what I was
going to have you guys compete. And I thought I'd have time to have the board and all that.
Oh, the board.
But I just didn't have enough time. But I was thinking of have you guys randomly pick a number. That's the one you'd get. But then I got to keep track of the numbers, I guess. Can we do that? That's probably not too hard, right?
Well, I'll keep track of the numbers if that helps.
Just 1 through 10. Huh. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and this is how we're going to do the score. You get 3 clues. The first clue is the audio clue. You get it on the first one, you get 10 points. You need a second clue, and we're going to go back and forth as we go, right? So you get 1 clue, then it goes to your partner, and it comes back to you. Third, so 10 points for the first one. Second, if you get it on the second clue, only 5. And if it takes you 3 clues to get it, you only get 1 point.
1 point?
Oh, whatever. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. Whatever. Who cares?
It does mean something.
It does, John. John, I'm telling you, it really doesn't. It's okay. It's going to be okay. All right, let me get some.
You get to keep your spot on the show if you win.
Don't even scare me. Kat, John, you could always be on the show forever. It doesn't matter. Even if you suck at this game. All right. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to get my coin that I usually flip, which for folks watching is actually just the cap for my video camera.
Yes.
I don't have I have like an 80s coaster, but it's out of, here's my 80s coaster. I've also flipped this too before, my coasters, which are actually the centers of actual vinyl
centers
records.
Of 33 thirds.
Yeah.
The back of it. I can flip that. All right, I'll flip that.
Yeah.
All right. Kat, why don't you choose heads?
There's a twerk on the back of it? Did you say there's twerk on the back of it?
Heads or tails? You want twerk or no twerk?
Okay. Label or twerk?
I'd like twerk, please.
All right. I'll flip it. Landed on twerk.
Who's calling it?
Heads. So I asked Kat to call it.
There you go.
All right, Kat, so you pick first any number from 1 through 10, and then obviously John will eliminate those numbers as we go along.
I got it.
Lucky number 7, please.
Lucky number 7. Okay. I'm going to just tell you I'm just going to tell you every time before I play the audio clue or I tell you any of the clues, I'm going to give you the genre and the network and the years that the show ran. Okay. So lucky number 7 is a soap opera that ran for 9 seasons on ABC from January of 1981 to May of 1989. And here is your audio clue.
Like,
you ready?
All of the 80s.
Ready for your audio clue? For 10 points.
Yes.
What is this? It's 2/10 of a second. I wish I could turn it up louder. So I turn it up a little louder. Here it is again.
What's that, a violin? A piano? I can't even tell.
Is this next year's April 1st episode already? Is that what this is? Is that what we're doing?
Come on out. What was the fake name of the guy again? I know Glenn's name.
I don't know.
Eddie. Eddie something.
Yes. Eddie Newton.
Right, so we got some guesses.
Eddie Newton.
Well, Brad's guessing was that a quack. So I could share that with you. It's not a quack. All right, clue number 2.
It sounds like somebody was like on a violin and went squeak.
All right,
and
John,
that's it.
for 5 points, here's clue number 2. The series revolved around the family of an oil magnate and his wife who reside in Denver, Colorado.
The audio sample is just insulting. That's no help whatsoever.
Craig's put a guess in. Brad's put a guess in.
But it's a soap opera.
You're right.
So,
soap opera.
yeah, I mean, the only oil magnets I know are not soap operas. That's, nighttime dramatic things. And they, by the way, were in Dallas. So it's not the one I'm thinking of. So.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, I should start doing that again. All right. Okay, Kat. Here's your final clue for one
measly point.
Blake Carrington.
One measly
the final clue. Blake Carrington.
All right. I'm not good on this soap opera thing. The only thing I could think of is Dallas too. But that's not it.
Wasn't your guess. That wasn't your guess. Okay.
I'm trying to, in 5 seconds, I'm trying to come up with something. I'm probably going to kick myself.
Days of Our Lives. Just making things up. I don't know.
I'm going to kick myself, I'm sure. But nope.
Nothing?
Nothing.
The answer was, let's see. I'll tell you what we got in the chat here. We got Craig said 90210. Charlene, I guess you said it was Craig's.
Char, yeah, or Charlene, yeah.
Dallas. Brad says Dynasty. Scott says Dynasty. Craig says Dynasty is, in fact, Dynasty.
It's got to be Dynasty.
Very good. Conceived.
So he just gave us the weep, just that little weep in the middle there. That's all he gave us. Are they all 0.2 of a second, Will?
Yeah. John, I guarantee you're going to get some of them. I guarantee. Kat just randomly picked, I think, the hardest one. Conceived by ABC to compete with CBS's primetime series Dallas. It starred John Forsythe, Linda Evans, Joan Collins, and many others. The song itself was written by legendary Bill Conti, who composed the score for a number of films, including the Rocky series, 4 Years Only, Masters of the Universe. Right. And he won an Academy Award for his music for The Right Stuff. With regard to it being a hit, because I said all these are hit songs, in 1982, the song peaked at number 52 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow.
All right, John, you're up.
Unlucky number 7.
Screech is that sample. We'll play it again for you. Screech. Yeah, I'm going to go with
sample. It's the same sample over and over
for
and
all
over.
of them. I'm going to go with Let's hear the sample. Name the film. I'm going to go with number 5. Numero 5.
Okay. All right. Your clue, or your initial sort of, for 10 points, I'm going to give you the basic information and then the audio clue. The basic information about this one is it's a comedy drama that ran for 5 seasons on ABC from March of 1985 through May of 1989. And here is your 0.2 of a second audio clue. Do you need to digest what I told you first?
Right.
I'm good. Can I hear it again? One more time.
With regard to the last one, Marcus says number 52 might be pushing hit song. All right, charted song. All right, charted. That's fair. A song that charted. We're working our way up to the hits.
Just hum along with it.
Where's your thing, John?
Can I hear it once? Yeah. My only prop is fart putty. It's all I've got. It's there.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
There's the sound.
It did. Right. It sounded just like it.
It's exactly the same. Play it one more time, please.
Yep. All right, we got some guesses in the chat here.
You don't have to wait for the fart anymore, John.
It's ridiculous.
All right, let's move on here.
Different strokes. Sorry. I guess different strokes.
All right, Kat, for 5 points, here's clue number 2. The series revolved around the partners of a detective agency.
Okay.
Oh,
John thinks he's got it now.
Wait.
I don't know.
He's going to steal.
Is it moonlighting?
That's right.
Where in that song is that sound?
Here comes. There it is.
I'm playing it at the same time. I was making the remix.
Oh.
All right, let's see who got that one. Retro Days wrote Knight Rider. Duh. Craig.
1 point for Kat. No, it's 5 points for Kat. 5 points for Kat.
I got 5 for that? Oh.
Craig says even Hurdle isn't this cruel. We did this before Hurdle.
No, it's not.
And Hurdle's done now.
Can we get a second? 1 second. What? 0.2 of a second? So I got to turn up my earbud. I'm going to have to put in both earbuds.
This is cruel. Yes.
Dwight said moonlighting. Scott said moonlighting. There, they got it. All right, here we go.
Yeah, they're typing that after you tell them the years and the network.
Starring Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis, of course, the series revolved around cases investigated by the Blue Moon Detective Agencies and its 2 partners, Maddie Hayes and David Addison. The show toyed with a mix of mystery, sharp dialogue, and sexual tension between its main characters. And I think it was one of those shows that, like the Sam and Diane scenario, that will they or won't they vibe, that ultimately when they willed, it sort of jumped the shark, right? The theme song was performed by Al Jarreau, who wrote the song with Lee Holdridge. Yeah. And it was produced by Nile Rodgers, of course, the legendary producer of and founding member of Chic, who seems to be involved in so many wonderful songs from the 1980s.
He's got his hands in everything.
Yep. The theme was released as a single in 87 where it reached number 23. How's that, Marcus? 23 on the Billboard Hot 100 and spent 1 week at number 1 on the adult contemporary chart. All right, Kat, you pick. What do you got?
Number 3.
All right, here is your clue. And then I will play you your 0.2 of a second audio clip. All right, this is a police procedural.
1 second would have just given it away. Sorry. 1 second too much.
Police procedural.
Police procedural. Okay.
Ran for 7 seasons on NBC. From January.
None of this helps me.
From January, I have of 198. 1980 something. Let's do the math. Probably 1980, I guess, or 1981 through May of 1987. And here's your clue.
Can I hear it again?
You got some guesses in the
That's a piano.
chat here?
That's is it
I'm really gonna start timing you guys.
Hill Street Blues? Hill
Yes,
Street
it
Blues,
is.
the piano?
I'm going to say yes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought it was.
Oh my gosh.
But I wouldn't have guessed that based on the 0.2 of a second. I was just going to guess it based on the years that it ran police procedural.
Yeah,
that's why I was.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I had no.
Yeah.
I think the police part helped me.
Yeah.
The police,
Oh, yeah.
police
The police,
reference helped
absolutely.
me.
You said police
The
part?
years do nothing.
Part. Okay.
Police part, yes.
Yep.
Not the police part. The
Art.
the years do nothing for me because I'm not in tune with that.
This show starred Daniel Travanti Jr., Ken Olin, future film director Betty Thomas, and many others. The instrumental theme was written by Mike Post, who's a name you're going to hear often because Mike Post has written, I don't know, 80% of all TV show themes, certainly in the 1980s. And it features Larry Carlton on guitar. The song spent over 5 months on the charts and reached number 10 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. All right, look, we're getting closer there. And it became an adult contemporary hit, reaching number 4 in the U.S. and number 29 in Canada. It was Post's second top 10 hit, matching the performance of his first hit in 1976, the theme from the Rockford Files. Yeah, see, like I say, this has been a phenomenon that, again, happened decades before. It really hasn't happened decades since.
Kat, do you remember the theme from the Rockford Files? Do you remember it?
No. Can you sing it?
Yeah, it goes like this.
Can you guess it?
Yeah. You recognize it? Can we sing it again?
I do.
So many.
It's
It
so
sounds like so many
familiar.
other themes
I do know it.
I've heard.
All right.
All right.
All right.
What do you got?
I'm gonna move this along. I'm gonna stick with the odd numbers. I'm gonna go with number 9, please.
Number 9.
Yeah.
What's he doing to
that's
his cat?
There you go. All right. Okay. Number 9.
Torture.
John, your
It's
clue
torture.
is, again, look like John, you figured it out. The first thing, it's the audio thing. That's funny. But the real clue is this. The real clue is this, John. You can get this. It's a sitcom that ran for 11 seasons on NBC from 1982 through 1993. That wasn't intended to rhyme, but it did, I think. Okay. And here is your 0.2 of a second audio clue for 10 points. I love when John shakes his head disapprovingly. I mean, in the sense that I don't love it, but it's just. Craig.
That just sounds like an error. Like,
We got Craig's guest, Marcus's guest. Brad says the 0.2 is just a distraction. Ah, there you go. All right, John. Sitcom. 11 seasons on NBC.
Oh, it's a long time.
Cosby Show?
Yes.
There you go.
I thought you'd get it. All right. Cat.
I don't know.
5 points.
You thought I'd get it.
I did. I know if I was playing video
5
game
points
sounds,
for you,
you'd be
Kat.
all
Here
over
we go.
it. Give me this thing.
Oh, yeah.
0.2 of a
Most
video
of those are
game
only
sound.
0.2 of a second long. That's right.
If I only played you 4 of the 8 bits. All right.
that'd
Here's
be
your
tough.
clue number 2, Kat, for 5 points. According to the producer, the lead actor had to, quote, pretend that he knew a lot about sports.
I have a guess now, at least.
And Thanks, Will.
Now I'm trying to distract her. Brad says, that's a bucket of pickles. What's a bucket of pickles?
Oh, yes.
Not a jar, a whole bucket.
I don't even have a guess.
All right, Kat. John,
Okay.
Kat, John, back to you for 1 point.
Okay. For 1 whole point.
Oh, wait. Should we do this? If you could do it already, based on what she has, can you steal the 5 points?
Oh, steal. Yeah. Can you steal it?
It's up to you.
Yeah, let's
Your
do
rules.
that. Let's do
Your
that.
game.
To keep you in the game. All right.
Okay.
I don't think we've had this situation yet, so I think it's fair. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So without a follow-up clue,
Yep.
I believe it could be Coach.
Damn.
Oh.
He's only going to play 2/10 of the error sound too.
I don't know what's going on with that. Now, should I give you the third clue, or does that mean it's just done? You have a choice. Maybe you get a choice. I love how these games evolve as we do it. Maybe you had a choice. You could have chosen to steal or take the next clue. All right, that's how we'll do
I chose
it.
to, so I missed out.
Okay,
I missed out.
All right, Kat.
So I can't not take.
And you know what? But then it's done. Then we go 3. No one gets the points. You just said 3 times.
Okay.
All right. Here is the correct answer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Craig got it right.
Who had to pretend to know about
Marcus
sports?
got it right. Brad got it right.
They're looking up the years in the network. I'm not looking on the internet.
Yeah, guys, stop cheating. Yeah, starring Ted Danson, Shelley Long, Rhea Perlman, George Wendt, a whole bunch of people. It was written. The song itself was written by Gary Portnoy and Judy Hart Angelo in 1982. It was the pair's 4th attempt at a theme for the show after the Cheers producers, legendary Glenn and Les Charles, heard the duo's work on the Broadway musical Preppies. After several months of searching for singers, the producers eventually asked Portnoy to record the song himself. So you actually hear him singing. In fact, he does the chorus and there's layers of harmonies. He does all that himself. In 2011, the readers of Rolling Stone and in 2013, the editors of TV Guide selected it as the best TV show theme of all time. I don't agree about that. The best.
Wow. It's very recognizable. I don't know if it's the best one.
Agreed. Yeah.
So did Ted Danson have to pretend to know about sports?
Yes, he knew nothing about sports and he knew nothing about bartending.
Okay.
He had to learn about both those things to do the show. Yeah. Shortly after the premiere of Cheers, Portnoy went back into the studio to record a longer version of the song that made it to the U.S. pop charts, where it peaked at number 83 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. It also received an Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Achievement in Music and Lyrics. I got to tell you, maybe it's the time of the time of the whatever what was going on in my life at the time watching the show. That theme always made me feel sad, like making your way in the world today. And I thought it was an interesting kind of way to set up a show that was otherwise hilarious.
Sure. Yeah.
Doesn't your life suck? Go to the bar.
Yeah.
Get a little
encouraging alcoholism.
Oh no. I didn't think of it as happy or sad. I guess it was neutral for me.
Yeah. I remember the late 80s, sometime I had a whole songbook of TV theme songs, and the Cheers theme was one of those in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I tried to program them to play on my Atari computer, and I was with some success.
Oh my gosh.
Eric says the Fall Guy is the best theme. I mean, come on, Lee Majors. Oh yeah, see, Eric
and sung
agrees.
by Lee Majors.
Eric agrees. It's a sad song.
Right.
Taxi felt the same. Yes, Taxi too. Yes,
Taxi, definitely.
I agree.
Yep.
Oh.
All right.
I'm trying to remember that one.
That was
so
John's
Kat,
choice.
Here's the deal. We have it's your choice now. You have all of the even numbers plus number 1.
Oh, okay. Well, let's knock out all the odds.
Okay.
Number 1.
All right. Here's number 1 for you, Kat. The genre is action crime drama. It ran for 5 seasons on NBC from September of 1984 to January of 1990. And here is your 2/10 of a second distraction.
Can't wait. Look at John. Oh, what? That's like a dial-up sound. It sounds like I'm trying to use a modem to get online.
This is a sound from an early Atari 2600. John, this is
I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is.
All right, Kat.
It's
you can get it
from
for
Tank,
10
right?
points.
If Kat misses it, I don't even want a clue.
Okay.
Oh,
all right. Well, you can do
I
that.
have
Yeah,
nothing.
you get
I
10
have-
points.
I
Kat's
have
got
nothing.
All right. Now, John, you've chosen to steal.
Nothing.
I'm trying to steal.
So you either get 10 points for stealing or it's going back to
I-
Kat for 5 points.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
Yep.
That's fine with me. I feel that you picked a sample that is very indicative of Jan Hammer's score for Miami Vice.
Oh,
Now, I've got to tell you, the 0.2 of a second I provide you is the very beginning 0.2 every time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, here's the correct answer.
Yes, you're right!
John.
Yay!
Brad writes hashtag John Strong.
That's right. That's from the vlog. Thank you, Brad.
That's from the vlog. That's from the vlog.
Oh,
Chili
my
wrote
internet
Hill Street
brother,
Blues.
Brad.
Craig first said Magnum.
So,
Eric said he already knew. Craig Dent's changed to Miami Vice.
Yeah, I heard the.
wow.
Yeah.
It was like.
So the sound did it for you? Is that how you
Yes.
landed on that?
Yes.
Oh,
The
so
0.2 of a second
so
nailed it for
doesn't
me.
suck after all the whole game. All right.
Well, let's not get excited.
Of course, the show starred Don Johnson. I don't have to tell anybody this, right? But Don Johnson, Philip Michael Thomas, Sandra Santiago, Edward James Olmos in later seasons. The song was composed, like John, as John alluded to. He didn't allude. He directly said,
I said.
Jan Hammer created the song. It was released as a single in 1985, and it peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Yes.
This may be the highest charting TV theme that we have on our game tonight.
So there's nothing higher than 1, you're saying?
No.
Yeah, no. Billboard
So this is
doesn't.
number 1 and it might be the highest?
I don't know why Billboard stopped at 1, but
Clocking in at 0.5.
it was the last instrumental to top the Hot 100 until 2013 when the Harlem Shake by Bauer reached number 1. Gross. It also peaked at number 5 in the UK and number 4 in Canada. In 1986, it won the Grammy Awards for Best Instrumental Composition and Best Pop Instrumental Performance.
And
Yeah.
there was one entire episode that had the soundtrack directly from the Alan Parsons Project album Gaudi.
Huh.
Wow.
Was that some kind of marketing deal they made, you think?
Just FYI.
I wonder if they got paid to do that or something? Or?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the album was out already, and I think they just used, the instrumental samples from it and stuff, and they used it as the soundtrack for one episode.
Oh,
which I
very
always
cool.
thought was cool. I'm going to go with 10. Just take it to the bottom.
All right. John, here is your clue
Yes.
and your very helpful audio clip. This is a romantic comedy drama. All right. You're ready. You're homing in on it. Romantic comedy drama that ran for 9 seasons on ABC from 77 to 86. And here's your...
Okay.
I got to stop playing the clue.
ABC.
He's thinking too much. All right, here's your clue. Here's your clue.
Don't think.
77 to what? 86, did you say?
86. ABC.
Hey, John, don't think because you used the word feel on the last one and you got it right.
Romantic comedy. Okay.
Here is your 0.2 of a second audio clue.
It's that starting in 77 that's getting me because I'm like, what the heck?
Inscrutable Owl. Hey.
Hey, Al.
Inscrutable Owl wrote, hey, everyone, John sent me.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing.
All right,
No,
Kat, for 5 points. Here's your next clue.
Okay.
Every episode contained several storylines, each written by a different set of writers working on one group of guest stars.
Oh.
Oh.
Now, yeah, okay. All right.
Is this the Love Boat?
Yes, it is! Here we go. Ready? Okay, we go.
Yes.
First word's love. Love.
Exciting and new.
Come aboard.
We're expecting
you.
I'm doing my Isaac.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Doing my credits, yeah.
Yes, it is The Love Boat, starring Gavin MacLeod, Bernie Kopell, Ted Lang, Lauren Tews, and on and on and on, and had a rotating cast of guest stars, some folks that were recurring. The theme song was composed by Charles Fox to the lyrics by Paul Williams. You know who I was mentioning earlier? He wrote the music and lyrics for the Muppet movie, the first one. So he wrote that song.
Oh my gosh.
Can you picture that?
Hey, can you picture that?
Wait, I just said it like the Fraggle Rock theme, I realized, Kat. So I must be doing it wrong. Anyway, it was sung by Jack Jones in the opening sequence of the first 8 seasons, and in a different arrangement, Dionne Warwick sang it in the last season and the 4 specials that followed. Charo, remember Charo? She was ubiquitous in the 1980s. She also recorded
Hoochie Coochie.
Yes, she did a Hoochie Coochie version and commercially released it as a single in 1980, and which in a bit of meta meta performance. She sang it on the show as in one of her guest appearances, which is kind of weird, I think. But
On the Lido deck.
yeah, Let's see. Brad said Love Boat. Craig said Love Boat.
I'm just thinking I'm a millennial watching this. And like, I just randomly, we're talking and I go, hoochie coochie. Like, what's wrong with these people? They're mentally ill. Huh. it's just what's is he okay?
Who got that one and where? I don't remember. Oh, that was Kat on the second try?
Yes. Kat got 5 points.
All right, I think I wrote it down. So then we're at 20-10, right? Is that what you guys are thinking?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
I was willing to steal. Yeah, but she got it.
Oh, Eric wrote that Paul Williams also appeared on an episode of The Love Boat. Yeah. Inscrutable says Rainbow Connection too. Yeah, I think Paul Williams wrote all those songs for the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yay.
Craig writes, regarding Charles, she was a regular on the show. She had an amazing flamenco guitarist. All right, Kat, you're up.
That's
Even
right.
number, 2, 4, 6, or 8.
Who do we appreciate?
4.
Kat and John. Kat. All right, here we go. It's an action comedy.
John's in pain.
It's an action comedy. Well, I'll come up with something else for you in another show, John. Make it up to you. All Star Trek all the time. All Star Trek and video games.
0.3 of a second next time.
Star Trek quiz.
We do a Star Trek quiz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Action comedy that ran for 7 seasons on CBS from January of 1979 to February of 1985. And here is your audio clue intended to distract you.
Can I hear that again? Nope. Pass.
What was the description of it again? Can I hear?
Action
you said
comedy.
The years and stuff
Ran
again.
for 7
Was it 79 to
seasons.
80 something?
Yes. 7 seasons on CBS from 79 to 85. An action comedy. Wow, Craig's wife is really good at this game.
I was going to say, is anybody making guesses on
You say Char or Shar?
Well, I know her as Charlene,
So
and I
you-
can't be sure if it's
Do you say then
Char or Shar. I don't know if it's soft or. Can you guys specify, please, Craig?
Brad says
it a
this
chup
clip
or
sounds like
shup?
someone dragging a brick on the floor. Huh.
I'm not willing to attempt to steal. I will take a clue.
All right, next clue. All right, well, this is the next clue. What are you going to do? The series followed 2 cousins who evade the corrupt county commissioner and his bumbling sheriff.
Okay. Dukes of Hazzard.
That's right.
That's it. Oh, man.
Just
I
a
missed
good
my
old
favorite.
boy.
Never mean
You didn't recognize it from Chunk?
Beats all you ever saw.
Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
Oh, wow. Good job.
Straight in the curve.
Flattening the hills.
There you go. Much more than 0.2 of a second. We know
So-
much more of it.
Shar, it is
weed, yes.
Shar. And Shar said Dukes of Hazzard. Brad says, the brick comment. Marcus said Dukes.
Good job, Char.
And,
Duke.
Yep.
Marcus suggests
Goop.
Southern Fried Gaming Expo karaoke. Based on this your performance just now. Okay, very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, the show starred Tom Wopat, Denver Pyle, Catherine Bach, and no one else. No one else. That's the only actors that were on the show.
That's right.
Tom
No one else.
Wopat, Denver Pyle, Catherine Bach. End of list. The theme was written and recorded by country music singer Waylon Jennings, who we know at one point was the owner of the actual cocaine bear. The actual bear. It was stuffed,
He was.
and Waylon Jennings purchased it or was given to him as a gift. It was released in It was released in August of 1980. Not the bear, the song, as the second single from Jennings' album Music Man. The song became a #1 hit on the Billboard Hot Country Singles chart in 1980. I don't know if you consider that a hit, Brad. If it's on Hot Country Singles chart. Where I'm from, that would
Hot
be a hit.
country single.
Hot pants. I'm coming.
Oh, I'm coming.
I'm charting. It also reached number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow.
John's expression is just killing me.
I'm charting.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're doing.
yeah.
He thinks that's a portmanteau of something, right? I got the arding. All right, so that's probably farting. What's the char part that we'll sing? I'm charting.
And
Right? That's what you would think.
there's some kind of euphemism. There's some euphemism in there.
I just figured that's what Billy Joel says in The Throes of Ecstasy.
Yeah. All right. I'm charting? Oh, yeah.
I'm charting. #1 with a bullet. Okay.
I think a single Billy Joel probably
we have
just wandered into
two-
a place to pick up a woman like that. I'm
Yeah.
charting.
So we have 2, 6, and 8 remaining here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go right in the middle and take 6.
All right, number 6. This is a show that is a crime drama that ran for 8 seasons on CBS from December of 1980 through May of 1988. Crime drama. And here's your audio clue. 10 points.
That's so familiar.
You can take the lead, John, with this next one here.
Oh, I just had a terrible realization that it's my turn.
Oh, you're sorry. All right, let's start again.
No, I picked it and everything. It's just,
okay.
I was just like, oh my goodness, Kat is so screwed. She's never, I'm like, oh, that's me.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, John is so screwed.
We got some answers in the chat here.
Well, the years again, 80 to 80 something, 89.
80 to 88.
80 something.
This is what I would focus on.
88.
All right, so long running, but CBS, doesn't that already CBS crime drama?
Yeah, I'll just do the only one I know that I guessed before, Hill Street Blues, that I think was on.
Good guess.
Yeah, it was not that network. I think it was on CBS or some crap like that.
All right, Kat, for 5 points, here's clue number 2.
Uh-huh.
Wait, she can steal if you know the answer.
Oh, you want to steal? Do you know the answer?
That's funny.
Kat is so screwed.
All right. Here's your clue. Second clue for 5 points. A private investigator lives in the guest house of a celebrated author of several dozen lurid novels.
For Christ's sakes.
Oh, I think John might steal if you don't get it.
Oh, this is, oh no. See, he's probably going to get it because I'm not.
I know it. I definitely know it.
Wait, private investigator?
Mm-hmm.
Magnum PI? PI.
That's right. Yep.
PI.
That's correct.
All right, everybody sing along. Ready? Here we go. 4, 3, 2,
what?
1. Magnum. PI. Magnum. Got a mustache and a Ferrari, I think, or some kind of small car. All right, that's enough of that.
Straightening the curves.
Yeah, sing whatever song you want.
Just anything. Do you know there was once a Magnum PI crossover with Murder, She Wrote?
Wow.
Louise Fletcher
cool.
was on Magnum PI with a bunch of her lady friends. They were like at a book club or something. They showed up and there's a whole dual mystery. It was cool.
Oh my gosh.
All right, you got Tom Selleck, John Hillerman, Roger Mosley are the stars of the show. The original theme music for the opening credits of the pilot episode was a mid-tempo jazzy piece by Freebairn and Smith through episode 11. So originally it had a different theme. It wasn't only until episode 12 that they replaced it with this more up-tempo theme, typical of a 1980s series, written by, everybody say it, Mike Post.
Mike Post.
And Pete Carpenter, with guitar by Larry Carlton, who we talked about earlier. Again, Post has written a number of award-winning themes. Here's a bunch of them for you. L.A. Law, A-Team, Hardcastle and McCormick, Riptide, Quantum Leap, Stingray, Tales of the Gold Monkey, Wise Guy, Hunter, White Shadow.
Wow.
Anyway, a longer version of the Post theme was released as a single in 1982 and peaked at number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100. All right, very good. Let's see. Magnum, we had some guesses here. Yeah, Craig said Magnum. He was with Marcus. Brad said Magnum. Yeah, Marcus said, he got in quick there with the Magnum. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it was a Ferrari GTO, Craig. Thank you. Thank you for being.
It sounds like a euphemism too.
Not a GTS. Thank you for being pedantic, Craig. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Brad says the Englishman's shirts were too long and Tom's shorts were way too short.
Oh wow.
Yes. Oh, Hardcastle and McCormick, was that the other? Was that trying to remind me about the? I don't know. Craig asked that. All right. Okay. All right. What do you got left here? We got what was that?
You got 2 and 8 available to you, Kat.
All right. 2 and 8, Kat. What do you want?
Okay. Let's take number 8.
2.
Number 8.
Oh, thank you. That helps. That's good.
All right, number 8 is a sitcom that ran for 4 seasons on CBS from September of 1978 through April of 1982. Okay. And here is your 0.2 of a second audio clue. I recorded this earlier.
What's the network again?
CBS. I was stuck in traffic earlier and... I was staying still at a green light too long.
MCO.
I love how Will
Here's your sample.
encourages John by, just focus on the gears. in the TV station, and he knows not to do that with me. So, and I got nothing.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way, but yeah.
Oh.
All right.
No,
right,
it's
John.
true though.
John, I'm going to give you a line from the song.
I would like a clue.
I'm going to give you a line from the song. This is a lyric from the song.
Is this a clue?
This is the first. This is clue number 2 for 5 points because you're not getting it with the 10 points. Right? 5 points. Here's a lyric, and I'm going to try not to sing it.
Okay.
That's the most challenging part of this whole thing. Baby, if you've ever wondered.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
That's right!
Baby, if you've ever wondered
Whatever became of me.
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP.
Whoa, what was that? He's doing hand gestures and everything.
That was
Gang
like
signs.
YMCA, but not.
He's in the Cincinnati gang.
signs.
He's in the Crips, KRP, the Crips. Oh.
I'm in the Les Nessman 7.
Yeah. So starring Gary Sandy, Tim Reed, Gordon Jubb, Howard Hessman, Lonnie Anderson, Jan Smithers, and on and on and on. The song itself was written by composer Tom Wells with lyrics by the show's creator, Hugh Wilson. It was sung, however, by Steve Carlisle. When a full-length version of the theme song was released as a single in 1981, it peaked at number 65 on the Billboard Hot 100. This version was produced by the team of Jerry Buckner and Gary Garcia, who had a big hit in 1982 with
Pac-Man Fever.
Right. Buckner and Garcia.
I don't know if you guys remember this.
My
or
close
not.
personal friend, Jerry Buckner.
But do you guys remember this? When Carlisle recorded a full-length version of the song, he and his producers also made a bunch of customized versions for different radio stations around the country, replacing "I'm at WKRP" with the call letters of the local station.
Oh, clever.
Interesting.
I don't remember hearing one local to us, but they put these on cassettes and sent them to the various radio stations, many of which played them on the air. It was time-consuming but effective marketing, giving the song a big push. All right. We only have one left, right?
That's right.
And this one is going to Kat first.
I think I will choose number 2.
Oh.
No, it's me.
Oh, okay.
Because I got that on the clue. Is that right? I'm pretty sure it's me.
Yeah, you're right.
It's you, John.
So wait,
Me
you
with
got
the number 2.
That was 5 points for John.
You get the misery first.
So now
I earned 5 points.
the score is now Kat with 25, John with 20.
That's what I had.
Wow.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Here we go. Coming down to the final thing here. So John, you could seal it.
All you have to do, Kat, is me not get it, and then you win.
Or you could sweep it.
All right, so this is it.
Okay.
Yeah, you could steal for 5
Tell me
points and
about
tie it. And then we're going to have a tiebreaker. All right, here is your clue. It's a sci-fi comedy drama fantasy show. And here is your 0.2 of a second. And by the way, all these genres came from Wikipedia, so I just copied whatever they said.
I don't get network or anything else like that. Just
Oh, yeah, you know what? I didn't write that down.
years and
I didn't write that down. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you the audio clue. If you can't get it from that, I will look it up and stick it in and whatever. And I will boldly pull it out. All right, here we go. Here's your
so we don't know the years.
I'll
know.
give it to you in a second. Just let's just see for fun.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Here you go.
All
Here's your clue. 10 points. Sci-fi, comedy, drama, fantasy.
See, I don't have the benefit of the years. I don't have the benefit
I
of
got
the
a lot
network.
of editing on. Whenever we do audio shows, I got a lot of editing to do.
I'm sure you do.
Why
Yes.
do I do this to myself? No one enjoys these episodes. You guys hate these episodes. I hate editing them. Why do we bother? All right, John. This is a show.
Okay.
It ran on ABC for 3 seasons from 1981 through 1983.
Alf. I think that's my only possible guess. I don't know the theme song, but I think it's Alf.
I'm going to play you the clue again. Now that you have all the information. It's
Okay.
ABC.
Keep playing
Sure.
it. Keep playing it.
Think about what shows were on ABC versus NBC and CBS.
I really want John to get this.
Oh, okay.
I really want John to get this.
I'm so idiot. It's the greatest American hero.
That's right.
Look at what's happened to me.
Believe it or not, he got it right.
Yeah.
I can't believe it myself.
John,
Yeah.
I was rooting for you because somehow I could tell from the clue, you know, the music.
I don't know if I get full credit though.
Okay, how about you give him 5 points and then we tie, and then
Can
we
I take?
have the
I'll take
tiebreaker.
half points.
Yeah, that's what Kat said.
And that way we're tied. Yeah, exactly.
I was blasting music. So you
I'm
could-
I
agreeing
really
with Kat.
wanted you.
That's wonderful.
really wanted you to get
Everybody's
that
a
one.
winner. All right.
Doo-doo.
You guys can go back to the comments now.
He short-sheeted me though. No years, no network. I had to pull it out of him.
I thought you were going to get it from the
Not from that. You have no idea how bad it sounds in these earbuds. It just sounds like
yeah.
That's what it sounds like with two, John. Same.
Probably.
You had to pull out the cork on Will to get your clues.
Marcus said you were doing Klingon sign language. Yeah, I could believe that.
Yeah, instead of the gang signs. Yeah.
Marcus also guessed Greatest American Hero. Tony, Greatest American Hero. Craig said Mark and Mindy. Shar and I both said it at the same time.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Crap. It's got to be Greatest American Hero. Craig later corrected himself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there you have it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What was Mork and Mindy's theme song? I don't remember.
Mork and Mindy. He's an alien. She's a human.
Straight to the curves.
Yeah. Mork and Mindy.
Someday the mountain might get him, but the law never will.
Sometimes Orc will get him, but the egg never will. I don't know what you said.
But Mindy never will.
All right. All right. There
and
you
Eddie
go.
Newton wrote it.
That's that.
All right. So we're tied 25-25. You have a tiebreaker, you said.
Oh, you're right. I do have a tiebreaker. Okay. This is a series. I'm gonna do it this way. All right. This series originally broadcast on NBC from September of 1982 through April of 1986. I don't know how we're going to do a tiebreaker now that I think about it, because what do I do? It's like, it would have to be a closest without going over kind of thing. But that's not what this is.
Whoever calls it out first.
Did you say genre? Did you say the genre? You said yours.
I didn't. The genre is action crime. Okay.
82 through 80 something you said.
Yeah. Now, it turns out maybe you guys have a piece of paper. Why don't you just write it down? If you both get it right, it'll still be a tie. If one of you gets it right and the other one doesn't, then.
Okay. I'll type it on my phone.
And I'm only going to give you one clue. I'm going to give you one audio clue. It's going to be longer than 0.2 of a second.
Oh, okay. Ooh, exciting. 0.3 of a second.
It's going to be 0.3 of a second. Thank you, Kat. That's correct. I'm going to tell you that the theme of this show was composed by a person who says that he was inspired. He remembers being inspired by a classical piece of music, which I'll do my best to pronounce it here. Marche et Cortège de Bacchus. I shouldn't even say it that way. I'll just say this. He remembers he was inspired by a classical piece.
You just insulted someone in French.
He was inspired by the opera. All right, I'll do it this way. By the opera Sylvia, written by French composer Leo. Oh, here we go again. Leo Delibes. Delibes in 1876. Sylvia was a full-length ballet in 2 or 3 acts, first choreographed by Louis. Why am I doing this to myself? Anyway, okay, so you got a ballet, an opera. Rather, it's a ballet. Why do I keep saying opera? It's 1876 ballet. The music from the ballet inspired this theme song. I'm going to play you the part of the ballet. You write down what theme song this is for.
What theme song was inspired by this? Okay.
Wow.
NBC action, whatever I said, crime. NBC ran for a few seasons. All right, here you go.
82 through something or other. Yeah.
Here you go.
This is wild. Okay.
I definitely know the theme.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Got it.
Okay, John's
got it. I'm writing it down.
John's
writing it down now.
Okay.
I can't believe it took me as long as it took me, quite honestly. Okay. It is written on my phone. I'm not typing on my phone any longer. Here's my phone.
A couple of guesses.
I can turn it around.
I trust you. Got a couple of guesses in the comments section here. Craig is suggesting someday we need to do a Saturday morning cartoon theme songs. Do I get to do only 0.2 of a second though, Craig? That's what I want to know.
Well, I hope so.
All right. You got an answer, Kat?
I got zip.
So John may win by default.
Nothing.
Wait, John. Let me tell you what. Let me play the song again, John. Let me play the classical piece first again, just to remind folks what we're listening to here. All right, John. What is your guess? Yes, Knight Rider!
That's like my other favorite. Oh my gosh.
I was like, God, I know that song. What is it? And without the bass line, it really threw me at first. And I'm like, I had to sing it to myself a few times.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Inspired by a ballet. Wow.
Yeah. So it was actually composed by musician Stu Phillips and series creator Glenn Larson. It's Larson who says he recalls hearing the ballet and incorporating that piece of music into it. Larson also said that they used 5 or 6 synthesizers, drums, and a Fender bass to create the sound. All right, there you go.
Wow.
Neat. In a sudden upset in a tiebreaker round, John pulled ahead.
It was all worth it.
Congratulations.
So let's see.
Thank you. You did awesome, Kat.
Marcus,
you were crushing me at the beginning. I can't believe.
Oh, we got Marcus, Brad, and Tony said A-team.
Oh.
Craig says you guys are geniuses.
Oh,
Marcus says he didn't hear that at all. The little thing.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's just the little horn.
You're one of the guys.
Yeah, they just co-opted that. They interpolated it.
I was very distracted. I was distracted by the ballet.
You see, Kat's a dancer.
I can hear it now. Yeah, I was dancing in my head. I can hear it now, but oh my gosh.
Yeah. Look.
That's a great clue.
I used that one because it's what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, interpolation and sampling.
Yes.
That it's hard to hear those things sometimes, even when you're presented it then maybe, but had I done it a different way, maybe you wouldn't have, well, John recognized it. You didn't hear it even still, but anyway.
That was amazing.
And by the way, that might be
right in front of me.
Among my favorite of the themes. I think I love Greatest American Hero theme because of the spirit of it and the words. Yeah. But as far as instrumentals, I think Knight Rider may be better for me than even, say, Miami Vice. There's something about it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
All right. That was
we can't sing it. We could have sung Greatest American Hero.
We can sing Knight Rider.
We didn't do any karaoke. Yeah, okay.
Michael Knight, Knight Rider. Whatever. All right, that was our show.
He's got a real cool car.
And our show is sung to you every week by, or thanks in part to our early adopters like Rick Parker, Kathy Burke, and Karen Flieger.
I couldn't really hear you too well because you were facing away.
Uh-oh.
Just do it one more time. Just towards the mic.
I will. Towards them. I'm sorry.
Hold the paper out if you have to.
Was I glitching? Okay.
I want to hear you. I love your voice. Okay, there you go.
Oh. Our show is sung to you every week. That's what I said before to be funny, but now it doesn't sound funny anymore.
Oh, it'll be funny.
Thanks in part.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm leaving
to our early adopters.
And now I'm going to talk over you. How do you like it?
Interrupting Will.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Okay.
At least he doesn't hold a grudge.
Like Rick Parker, Kathy Burke, and Karen Flieger.
Yay.
And thanks especially to our Secret of Our Success level Patreon supporters like Tony Great, Brad Bowman, Nick Guillory, John Henderson, Craig Coletta, and Marcus Taylor.
There he is.
I love how she's trying to mix up how she says them. It's requiring like every bit of concentration.
Wait, did I say that already?
Yeah, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. And hey, look, we appreciate these are the folks who literally help us pay the bills. And there's quite a few of them that's right to publish the show every month.
Yeah.
If you can help us, it would be great. Go to 1980snow.com/support. There's a bunch of different ways you could just give $1 or $2, just once even, through a coffee or something like that. There's links there. But if you can't, hey, make a comment, send us an email. I'm at will@1980snow.com. Kat is at kat@1980snow.com. And that's all the emails we have. And, or you can make a comment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Like this one that I don't have ready, but I'm about to.
Make it up. We heard from a guy named Frank, who said his cousin Bobby really loves the show.
We heard from Eddie Newton.
Was it? This is Doug R. wrote in.
My roommate Johnny F. is listening to your show right now.
I'm not reading his comment, but I do have a comment
in between
from
the thwaps.
Megan McCluskey.
I hear laughter. I think he's on to something.
I have a comment from Megan McCluskey who said, I have to tell you, the episode about the song sampling was absolutely hands down fascinating. I drive a lot for work lately, And I swear you guys are what gets me through. And there's always that moment. Yeah, right? There's more.
So sweet.
And there's always that moment when you just all crack up laughing. And I'm usually laughing along. And the person next to me on the road thinks I've lost my mind. I loved that.
That's
I just love that we could do that for her.
That is very kind.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
thanks,
hey,
Megan.
What is it? 2 and 10? 10 and 2. 10 and 2, Megan.
10 and
Eyes
2,
on the road.
Keep your eyes open.
All right. Hey, we will get you safely to your destination next time on 1980s Now.
Until next time.
Toodaloo.
This podcast is part of the 80s Ruled Network. Visit the 80s Ruled on Facebook for more 1980s awesomeness.